quads.
Mm-hmm.
I've dated triplets, but that's a lot.
Well, I can handle it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is when the credits go.
What are you doing?
It's credits. It's good.
Oh, this is alive. There's no credits, dude.
Hey there, and welcome to a Rural Juror Brewery tour live.
Pretty well said.
Thanks.
Other than the pause.
There was a bit of a recovery
The
there.
pregnant pause. Yes.
I'm Jay.
I'm Seth.
And today, Seth's going to tell us what we're drinking because this is all his.
We are drinking some beers out of my bottle room. This is the Quad Show. And we're only doing two because they're fucking quads.
They're huge. Like, can you see the size of this thing? Just, whoa, 3D effects.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And even if they were small bottles, they're still quads.
They are quads.
Really high alcohol.
So what's a quad? Tell us about them.
So it's a Belgian beer, sometimes known as a Belgian dark strong.
Did you know that Belgium was the home of Audrey Hepburn? She was born there.
No, I didn't.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, that was the other Hepburn.
That's okay, man.
Okay, whatever.
None of these people watching this know the difference, I'm
true.
sure.
Yeah,
if you
right.
know the difference, comment below.
Okay.
Nobody's going to comment.
What's going to come?
No.
Anyway, so these are quads. So typically there are sort of singles. There are which are called pastors or something like that. Whatever. And then there's doubles, triples.
Doubles are D-U-B-B-E-L.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
triple is also spelled
T-R-I-P-E-L.
That's correct.
And quad is spelled quad.
Quadruple. Yes. Now the funny thing, when I started getting into beers, I thought that they were meaning that there was just like quadrupling or doubling or whatever of the malt bill, so that there's more sugars, therefore higher alcohol. That's actually not the case. They're actually very different between a double and a triple and a quad in just character and flavor and even color.
Okay.
So the newest one is quad. Quad is a fairly new sort of, designation, and some people, purists, think that it's not a real one.
Okay.
So there's a kind of a bit of a variety of quads out there.
Who governs the difference between them? Because I know Belgium holds the record as the country with the longest period of time without a government.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I'm not looking it up on my notes to the side. Go on.
Okay. I would say that most of them are coming from the Trappist monks and stuff like that. And just over the years, most of them actually came from a time when literacy wasn't available. So on their alcohol bottle, they would put 1X, meaning that's a single. They would put 2, meaning it's a double.
A time when literacy was
And
poorly available.
3
so
X's.
this is why you're drawn to
So
it.
when you see like in Bugs Bunny and they have the 3 X's, that
Yes.
would mean it's a triple.
Well, triple X means other things too, but go on.
True, that Vin Diesel movie.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's
And then that one with Ice Cube, it wasn't as good.
That's not good. Yeah. Anyways, so today we're going to start with the New Limburg quad. And New Limburg
Is obviously in Belgium because it's a Belgian quad.
It's true, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's about as close as to Belgium as you're going to get in Ontario.
So the Netherlands?
So no, New Limburg is down kind of Norfolk County in Ontario.
Okay.
And they really specialize in Belgian
So
styles.
nowhere near Belgium,
Nowhere
but as
near.
close to Belgium as you're going to get.
But close to Paris, Ontario.
Go on. Let's move. This is the St. Arnaldus
Yes.
Belgian quad.
Yes. So this one is it's a quad. It is coming in at
This makes for great video, buddy.
can't see the percentage anywhere.
This makes for a strong beer, I'm sure.
I think it's going to be pretty
Because
strong.
that's characteristic of quads.
Yes, absolutely. Usually double digits.
Mm-hmm.
So typically Belgian quads are either very light in color, like a golden, or they are very dark.
Okay.
So this obviously is one of the dark variety.
Dark like chocolate. By the way, did you know that Belgium makes over 220,000 tons of chocolate per annum?
Per what?
Per annum. It's not as fun as you
Per
think
annum.
it sounds,
Okay.
but chocolate is fantastic.
Oh, wow. So comes out fairly still, like there's a little bit of effervescence right away, but then it's quite still in the glass.
That's halfway
No head.
between chocolate milk and cola.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say exactly cola, but
Were you? Because I was going to say halfway between chocolate milk and cola because it's cloudier.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. No head, no bubbles.
Actually, there are little tiny bits of bubbles.
You're right. Well, there are tiny bubbles, not bits of bubbles, because those would not be bubbles because they popped.
Well, if it's a half a bubble, it's still a bubble.
No.
If you dig a half a hole, it's still a hole.
Oh, but if you have a net and you cut a hole in it, you have less holes. So
That's
that
right.
counteracts
Yeah.
that. Toast.
Little bit of molasses and kind of caramel, but
Hint of syrup.
yeah.
The tiniest bit of maple, but toast is what presents mostly to me. I'm just going to keep sniffing it while you drink. Go ahead.
Very nice. Lots of caramel, lots of that syrupy sweetness in there. There's very little hint of the alcohol content.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite smooth on the finish. Usually quads don't have a whole lot of hop character to them, and this is certainly that. It presents very much like a sort of an English bitter, but without the bitter, but just very full in flavor and in mouthfeel.
I'm getting a massive amount of crusty bread on the finish of this. It doesn't finish bitter. It does have some booziness to it, but that crusty bread really sits there on my tongue nicely.
There's all kinds of different malts that they're usually using. There's Pilsner malts, there's Munich malts, all kinds of stuff in there that are giving it all of that complexity. It's not just a one or two kind of, grain beer. It's a very complex beer to make.
And this is not something that I would want to drink alone. So I'm glad we're sharing this. And I don't think anyone should drink something like this alone because it's an experience on its own beyond the high alcohol content. But this just has a lot of density and complexity. And every subsequent sip is going to give you a little more as it's revealed. What a pleasant drink. Yeah,
it's a really nice beer. And this is very well crafted. They're New Limburg's Belgian styles. They're just spot on.
This is 10.6% alcohol per volume. So yeah, that's
fairly standard. The interesting thing is, I really don't taste the 10.6. You taste
a hint of booze.
I taste that it's beer, but I certainly don't taste 10.6.
Cool.
Myself, anyways.
Let's set this one aside and let's explore the next one.
Yeah.
Since they're live and they probably don't want to hear us prattle on about other things like other facts, like how there's an airport in Belgium that sells more chocolate than anywhere else on the planet.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next up is the Almanac from Cowbell Brewing.
Almanac.
Now, the neat thing about this is obviously it's an enormous bottle.
It is how many mils? 750?
750. This one, the Almanac changes each year. So it's sort of their specialized beer that they're going to age or that they're going to do whatever to. So this particular year, this is their 2020, and it's the Belgian quad. It's coming in at 11.3%. So even higher. Corked on top.
Yeah. Cowbell, of course, just being up in Blythe, Ontario, so also nowhere near Belgium.
That's correct.
Yes.
Oh,
I love
just
just seeing a little smoke
kind
coming
of
off
puff
that.
of smoke.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
So we'll see what color this is. Very similar in color. So both of them are the dark versions of the quads. A lot more bubbles as I'm pouring it, although still no real head that's going to stick around.
Nope. Quickly dissipated head. Action in the glass. Almost the same color. This one might be slightly cloudier, but it's basically the same color as the previous one with that cloud in it. And that cloud hides most of the action. You can see some of it up top.
Yeah.
Getting a little more lemony off the nose of this one.
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter. Not a full lemon, but just a little cleaner in that sense. Yeah.
But I'm not getting terribly much more than that. And maybe the previous drink has clouded that in my senses, but still.
I'm getting more biscuit on this one than I was on that one.
Well, that one was more toast for me than biscuit.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've used this word once before in an episode, but the finish has an element of petrichor to it, which is really exciting. Getting that fresh rainfall kind of dust taste at the end there is really interesting to me to have that present in a beer like this.
This one has a lot more carbonation in the mouth. So you're getting a lot more activation, bubbles and swirling around and stuff like that. So for me, actually, it's tastes a little bit drier and a little bit more bitter than I think the beer actually is, just because of the carbonation.
When was this bottled?
This
is the 2020. So it's had at least a year to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's been in my cellar for probably pretty much that year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very dense, very thicker mouthfeel, very complex. Lots of different malts that are in there. You can taste some of those sugars and the sort of the candied caramel.
And there's this presence of raisin
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even date in there, but raisin far more so.
Yeah.
Maybe currant too.
Yeah, this one, you're right. This one has a lot more of that
dried fruit.
That very dry. Yeah.
But the bitterness is far more present here than it was in the other one.
Mm-hmm.
That bitterness presents first, and then the fruit flavors come through after. But it's a dark experience for sure.
Now, do you think do you think that bitterness at the end is the work of the carbonation or the hops?
I think the bitterness is in the middle. I don't think it's at the end.
Okay.
And I think that it's from the carbonation.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that it's coming up because of all of that activity that's in my mouth, and it's kind of popping on the tongue and giving that activation that kind of ignites that little bit of taste there that
Yeah.
It makes it feel more bitter.
I agree. I think that it is too. I totally agree. I was just wondering what your taste buds were getting, because like I said at the beginning, most of these don't have a whole lot of hop characteristic in it, even though they are hopped.
Right. And this one, that bitterness is, well, it's much like the bitterness that many who've read Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto, which was written in Belgium, by the way, might feel at that point in time.
Thanks, Wiki.
Hey, I'm doing what I can to share the love and share the knowledge, man.
You know what you are.
I'm doing a great job of it, too.
Yeah.
You might have wanted to look up a few facts before yourself.
Okay,
all right?
sure.
I'm just saying, like the audience might agree with me.
It's true, yeah. I know. Well, thank God we have an audience tonight, too, because this is a lot of strong beer to share.
It sure is.
So thankfully, you're right. There's a live audience.
Yeah. And luckily, well, there was sorry, there's somebody out there. Anyways, these are really pleasant, and these are complex experiences. I'm glad we're enjoying them.
Yeah, me too. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching the Rural Juror Brewery Tour live.
Well said.
Thank you.
I'm Jay.
I'm Seth.
Check us out next time when we're not live, but we'll be trying some more beers.
Absolutely. Check out the website.
ruraljurorbrewerytour.com.
Lots of fun stuff there. Beer blog. Always new stuff on the beer blog.
Have a great time, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Now you got to hit a button. There's a button.
Is that
there.
what it is?
You got to hit the button to end the stream.
Hit the button. I hit the button.
You hit the button to end the stream.
I hit the end the stream.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's not done yet.
No,
See, so now it says.
Well, you got to hit that button. Then.
Not yet.
Hit that other button.
Hit the other button.
Hit the other button.
Hit the other button.